All right, gentlemen, I'm Joe Gillespie. I'm the defensive coordinator and linebacker coach here at TCU. And today we're just going to talk about our 3-3-5 defense. This is something that, obviously everybody uses as a third down package and stuff. And here about 3 or 4 years ago, the 3-3-5 became something as an every down defense for us. And so most recently, I was at the University of Tulsa, and that's where we installed it. Obviously, we're just now getting here to TCU, and we're in the install phase of all of this business. And so a lot of the clips and stuff that we'll look at today will be from the University of Tulsa. The 3-3-5 for us has been a lot of fun going through the school of hard knocks, so to speak, and just trying to install all the different coverages and go through those things and make the tweaks from year to year. But some of the things that it really brings to the table for us is it's a very fast defense. There's a lot of simplicity with it. And it also gives us the ability to give a lot of different looks. And so today what we're going to look at is kind of some of our staple blitzes that are things that we carry with us into every game. And it doesn't matter what type of formations or what type of offenses, rather, that we're playing. We're going to carry these 5-man pressures with us into everything. So they become a staple of our defense. And a lot of them are very similar. A lot of people run these. We ran it out of our 4-3, our 4-2-5. Obviously, we're running this stuff out of our 3-3-5, which makes it a little bit different. We're going to look at a couple of 5-man pressures out of our one free package, and then we're going to look at the same 5-man pressures that complement each other out of our 3-3 zone package. And so the first one for us is what we call Falcon. And Falcon is a field or formation blitz for us. If the ball is on a hash, then it's automatically coming from the field side regardless of formation. If it's in the middle of the field, then we're going to the strength of the formation. And so just kind of looking here, this is kind of our diagram and how we go about in teaching it. And the first thing that we always start with is a 2x2. And just generally going through our rules on this. We have a different way of setting our front. We base our front setting out of just our base package based off of what is the surface. And if it's a 2-man surface, then our eyes go to the backfield, and it's determined based on those two things. If it's a 3-man surface, then we solely determine our front setting based off of whether it's 2-man or 3-man surface. 2-man surface, we're going to base it off of the backfield right now. And so we want to give it as much similarity as to what we would look like in just our base. And so that's what we try to do in setting the front. Obviously, we've got the end right here on the right. When we run Falcon, it's also called Hawk, and we can run these defenses a number of different ways. We'll tag it a number of different ways. It can be a Falcon, which is coming from the field. It can be a Hawk, which is based off of, it's the same blitz, only now it's based off of where's the running back. We can call it Pass Hawk. Now it's based, the blitz is coming from the pass strength. We can tag it with some other things up front to send some of those guys into different gaps and things of that nature, but it's all of them are the same blitzes. First thing, just talking about the front here, the end's job in this is he is going to be the long stick A-gap player on his side. We're wanting to cut the field in half and keep that ball on the blitz side right now. And so he is the long stick to the A-gap. Center blocks out on him. He has the ability to cross face with that. Our nose, he's going to be the backside A-gap. We blitz through the face of the guard. If that guard's blocking out, then obviously we're in the A-gap. If that guard blocks down on him, then he too has the ability to cross face. And then we have several calls on the edges here. And so we'll always put our tackle into a go call. We'll never give him a peel out of our 5-man blitzes, but we will give our linebackers, our star, in this case, this is our field side linebacker, Sam linebacker, whatever a lot of different people call him. And we'll give him several different calls. One of the rules for our 5-man pressure, 1-free defense, defensive pressure is if it's a 1-back, we put him in what we call a pill. And so basically all he's doing is looking at that running back. If that back were to flare, then he's going to sit there and peel off with him. That will technically has that running back, and he will be the pill replacer for that star in that. So the will has the running back all over the field unless he just flares. So the star's looking at one thing, and he's looking for that. He's got 2 other calls that he'll have. There will also be a go call, which means he's got no responsibility. He's just going to pin his ears back and get after it, which is obviously what we want them to be. And hence the reason we've got the tackle in a go call. So he can pin his ears back. We can give a lot of different stems and looks out of it. We can walk these guys up in there, give a show out of it, and bring different pressures with it as well. But in this one, since it's a 1-back, he's in a pill protection right now. This Mike, his job is to blitz the face of the tackle. And so he's just basically reading that tackle. If that tackle blocks down, then he's going to come tight off of his hip, squeeze the air out of it, have no space in between you. If he tries to block out on this star, then obviously we're going to fit tight inside of him. If this guard were to try to block out on him, he too has the ability to cross face on that as well. And then the will, we just discussed who has the running back man in this situation. We play with 5 DBs. Obviously, we can do a few different things when you got 3 safeties on the field, but each one of them are going to play hand in hand and play each other's position in different formations. So they got to know what everybody is doing and get everything set. So obviously we got both corners on 1s, both safeties on 2s, and then we got our roof right now out of what is our nickel safety. So that's basically, it's always going to be a pill if it's whatever the formation may be, whether it's 3-by-1, 2-by-2. If it's a 1-back formation, then that star right now knows that he is in pill mode. Obviously, we'll communicate those things and all of that business. If that running back were to go motion right now, that star would come out of it. The mic would replace the star, and the will would replace the mic. That running back went motion to the weak side. There goes the will, and obviously the same 2 blitzers are running the blitz right now. So looking at a couple clips, honestly, we're going to sit there and look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I mean, there's always going to be some great plays with it. There's going to be some clips in here just kind of going through some of the dynamics that, where we needed to get better and kind of teach from. And then there's going to be some that are pretty ugly, but that's all right. So here we are. We got a 2-by-2, same type deal right now. We're setting our front accordingly. Here's the back, so we're setting our front accordingly, trying to make it look like, is this normal? Are they just playing a 1-free? If they are blitzing, then where are they bringing it from? All of that business. Obviously, we'd like to disguise it a little bit longer. We're kind of showing our hand right off the bat. Of course, they're going to tempo you and things of that nature. So you can't sit there and hide it very well. This is our strong safety, which is our boundary safety. Obviously, our corner on 1, safety on 2, corner on 1, safety on 2. This is our star, our mic, our will, and then there's our roof right there out of the nickel safety. This is the guy that's going to long stick the A-gap his side. He's playing A-gap backside. This tackle is in a go call right now, and then he is in a peel call. He's the one coming off of the edge over here. He's in a peel because of the 1-back, so he's really just watching one thing, and that's him. If this guy flares right now, then he's going to take him, and that will peel replace. If he does anything else, then he knows he's Q all the way. Does not matter. This is our dive player. He's blitzing the face of the tackle, and he will become the dive player regardless of what happens. So trying to disguise a little bit here. You want to hit it fast. Obviously, we get the block down. They're stretching it this way, and we're chasing the long stick right here. Nose right here has got to stay in that backside A gap. He does a real good job of just digging into it and staying with it and trying really hard to sit there and cut the field right now. Obviously, the tackle up here kind of jumps a little bit, slips, whatever. He needs to be in that hard go call. He is in a box mode with this and needs to stay box. Really coming back across face here is not something that he needs to do. And then we're just straight up man across the board. Obviously, you know, they can do a lot of things here, and but they're just playing straight up man across the board with the roof behind it. Kind of looking at the end zone view of it and getting a better shot of all of these guys with it. You see 94, the end here, that's chasing the heck out of it right now. Obviously, we want to sit there and eat all of this up. 30 does a good job of just blitzing the face of the tackle. He goes down and he's going to squeeze the air out of it right now. He doesn't want to be way out here because then you're going to give a cutback. You see the tackle, the offensive tackle wants to turn out on him and try to create that lane. He does a really good job of just squeezing the hip and making him stay out of that right now. The Will kind of gets put into a hard position because he is the only one remaining in the box. This is our roof. He's the cue, he's the dive, and then he has to sit there and really, if this offensive tackle were to block out on him, he's got to be able to fill that gap and play to this gap as well. Looking at the nose, he's coming across. He's maintaining that A and trying to cut the field in half right now, which he's doing a good job, makes it bounce. 91, we really wanted him to stay outside of this. And then obviously the safety that was manned up on 2 makes a heck of a play right there for a good stop. So this is out of our 2x2. Once we declare that we're the pill player, nothing changes. They could shift a tight end or whatever back into the backfield and it would not change, because once we go Falcon and we go with our one free defense and we declare pill, and if they were to shift, that would be owner motion to us. So we wouldn't play a banjo or anything out of that. So going on, this is kind of where we get into the two-back stuff. And like I said, this is a staple of our defense running this. And so just looking at the field blitz again, we're going to bring a few things to the party in this right now. Obviously, we're still running a one free defense. We're setting the front accordingly. For us, when we get true split backs or a sniff, we may be in two fives with this. So that creates a longer and a little bit more difficult long stick for this guy. We'll cheat things, we'll stem to it, do all those things to give him his best ability of cutting the field in half. But it's still the same thing for the nose, still a go call for the tackle. Now we're bringing the nickel to the party. So we're going to pick up that 2 linebacker look on the snap of the ball. The star now is getting what he wants because we're bringing the nickel to the party. He's going to get into a go call. Any sort of 2-back formation automatically puts him into a go call, which is exactly what he wants to be. He gets to pin his ears back, do the same thing that this tackle is doing over here. Let's contain this, but let's pin our ears back, and we're thinking nothing but cure ball right now. So you got obviously a bit more freedom to this. Mike is still in the same situation right now. He's going to blitz the face of the tackle. He's keying it the same exact way. And now the Will and the nickel are dealing these two guys out together. So we'll just banjo that between the two of them. We tell them, get into ability alignment. We always want them to be as wide as the first threat on their side. And so whatever that width is, you get into that width. And because we obviously don't want to get out leveraged or anything like that. Don't have to worry about the pill. There's nothing taking him off. He doesn't have to worry about being a pill replacer or anything like that. Now you've got the strong safety as the roof. And then the last thing is the nickel in this case. We kind of got 2 different motions that are going on here that we have to deal with. We would like for the nickel to be the first adjuster in any sort of motion out of the backfield. So we've got a step motion and then we've got a quick motion. Our step motion is when a running back steps up and then he either goes left or right. If he's stepping forward and then he's going, then he's going to be the first adjuster. If that running back right now were just to go out to his right, our left immediately, that would go with him right now, because we don't know when they're going to snap the ball. Are they going to snap the ball after he's taken 2 steps, 1 step, or is he going to go all the way out here and get set? Well, if that's the case, then, hey, Will, you're having to go out there with it. But if we had our ruthers, we want the nickel to be the first adjuster all the time. So looking at this, it's a little bit different formation. But we got the twins, we got the open. We would call that a cut split right now. We're still going to play it the same way. We're going to disguise a few things. We've got the sniff in this case, so we still treat that as a true 2-back. And the other big rule with this is, in our 5-man pressures, our nickel safety is, if it's any sort of a 2-back set, he's always going to the side of the blitz. So whether it's a field blitz, whether it's a boundary blitz, whether it's a passing strength blitz, whether it's a running back blitz, wherever that blitz is coming from, that's where he's going. And that jives with pretty much all of our 5-man pressures. Now you get into our 4-man pressures and 6-man pressures, those things begin to differ for him. But in our 5-man pressures, he's always going to go to the blitz side and play hand in hand with the will in this case versus this formation. So obviously we got corners on 1s, this safety on 2. We got the nickel and the will or banjoing the running back in the sniff. And then our backside safety, strong safety, is going to eventually become our roof. So he's in a go call. He's blitzing the face of the tackle. We got long stick A-gap, backside A-gap. He's in a go call. Let's cut the field in half. So just looking at it here, and he starts to come over. He's making it look like he's got him man, and then he's going to go and become the roof. This guy and this guy still remain in their banjo with each other. He was in ability alignment. You can tell once he shifts like this, now his next threat is that running back. His immediate threat is that running back. So he's going to get into ability alignment on him. You see the nickel start to adjust and get outside lev of this guy right here. We're in a go call, blitzing the face of the tackle right here. So do a good job of just setting the edge with the blitz right here. He knows immediately they're blocking out on me. Let's box this. I'm nothing but the cue player on this, or the ball player on this anyway, since I'm in a go call, or since he's in a go call. He's banjoed up. He sees his guy block out. He's going to come replace, gap replace right now. And then backside will. His guy's going across. He sees that there's not any sort of split flow in this. So he gets to be fast flow right now. That's going to end up being his guy. So follow his target. He is boxing to him, and he is boxing back to that guy. So we got 2 linebackers back in this blitz now, which is a lot better than what we got in the 2x2 and the pill concept on the play before. So a little bit better. Looking at the front, getting this end right now to try to get into that A-gap. You can see the center trying to take over. He has the ability to cross face. The big deal again is, hey, make this field cut in half and let's keep ball over here. And then let's end up with our hats there and got to go make a great play. Obviously, we've gotten everything eaten up here. Good play by the nickel. We're coming backside with the will. Now it's a 1-2, both unblocked, and get in there and make a good play with that. So now we're looking at some unbalanced. And one thing that we can do with our unbalanced is any one of our 5-man pressures, especially out of our 1-free stuff, no sort of formation can get us out of it. And so there's no checks out of it, nothing. The one thing that we will do versus when we're in our 1-free pressures is we're going to go corners over with it. We want corners on skills. And so it's the same exact pressure now. We're going to go corners over with this. So we got corner on 1, corner on 2, safety on 3. Backside safety is the roof. And then you could have the nickel. Essentially, he's sitting there saying, shucks, I should have the tight end right now. Obviously, the tight end is dead in this situation. So what we would start doing then between the nickel and the will, if that tight end, if that receiver is dead, then that nickel and will go into a me-you call on this running back right now. Well, if they go into a me-you call on that running back right there, then he automatically gets into a pitch pill. Or we can still leave him in pill and he can be a quick gap fit in this and just keep him man on the running back, put the pill on him. It's really up to the star, or to the nickel rather, on what they want to do. If he starts giving a go-go call to the star, then he and the will are going to go into a me-you. If he starts giving the star a pill call right now, then he knows that, hey, I am the quick gap fill. I'm a free player. I can get there quickly, especially versus run. Or I can be a low hole cut guy for anything traveling across and things of that nature. So we can actually play that a couple of different ways. So looking at the unbalance here, same type formation. We've gone corners over right now. So we've got corner on 1, corner on 2. Our star is in that mode of, hey, there's the nickel. He's waiting on his call right now. Hey, put me in a pill or put me in a go, one or the other. If we don't know what they're putting us in, then obviously we're gonna err on the side of taking the pill. We're not gonna leave anything uncovered. They're gonna be in that me-you if he does put him in a go, or these two are working out the back if he goes into a pill call. Still blitz in the face of the tackle. The 3-man surface does not interfere with him. Here's your roof backside, long stick A, backside A, go call for the tackle up top. Doesn't matter how they shift, all that business. Obviously this guy and this guy are still playing it as if they are me-youing this right now. So you should be able to pick him up fast in this. We get that. A decent job here by the star, just closing it, staying outside, make this stuff turn back up inside. We get the long stick right here. Let's cut the field in half over here. You got the ability to cross face. We need to set it down right here. He's the Q check, obviously, right now. And then he's just going with the flow of it, with the flow of the back. I'm sorry, we got corner right here. I'm seeing trips. So corner, corner, safety. So we brought the corner over. Missing the guy down here. And so a good rundown blitz for us. It's also good for us when we get in those situations and third and medium on different ways to bring this. We can turn it with certain tags and stuff into a pass type blitz for us as well. We can start playing some games of taking this guy to this A-gap, long sticking him all the way around. Obviously, those things start to become situations and more of a passing type situation. Now, the next one we're going to look at is fire, and it's basically the same blitz. And so fire is our 3-3 zone blitz now. And it complements Falcon. And we really got into this because now we're going to get more eyes looking into the box. It's fairly simple, especially on the back end. All we're doing is we're stealing guys out of the wall of our base defense. Our base defense is to run a Tampa coverage. We use the MAC as a low hole rat. So we play a base defense of a 5 under 3 deep in it. And then we just start stealing guys from that 5-man wall, whether that be a corner, whether that be both corners, whether that be a linebacker, both linebackers, and in some cases, all three, and you just replace it with different things. And so we're basically just playing a three deep, 3 under We've got good eyes. We don't have anybody vacating the box, anything like that. It's more of a fire type zone blitz, but it's got the same Falcon concept up front. They're running the same thing. That tackle is in a go call right now. He knows it. The one thing that ends up happening is we start bringing the safeties into the blitz with this. For linebackers, it's always going to be just one linebacker blitzing in our fire and our burn type blitzes, which complement our Falcons and our Buzzards. The only linebacker that's blitzing is the linebacker to the side of the blitz. So just kind of going through all of the rules with that. We've already talked about the front. It's the same exact thing as Falcon. Same rules, ability to cross face, all of those things. There are no pills, there are no banjos because you're playing a zone concept behind it. So it gets a lot, way more fun for these guys and they don't have to go through all those dynamics. Talking about our deep third players. So the corners, regardless of formation, are always going to be the deep outside third guys in this blitz. Now, these three safeties are going to sit there and they have to communicate with each other on, number one, who is the skiff, who is our curl flat guy, seam curl flat guy, all right? If you're a linebacker and according to the formation, you got two or more displaced your side, then you're out of the box. If you're out of the box, then you automatically become the skiff to that side. The backside backer becomes the hot three player. So wherever that three hot is right now, in this case, according to this formation, there's the number three. We got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's who he's going to relate to from a pass drop standpoint. Our rules for these two safeties are, hey, if it's two displaced receivers, then it's our nickel safety is the one that's going to blitz. If it is just one displaced receiver, then it's going to be the free safety in this case that would go blitz in our fire zone pressure. The other thing about it is once you declare that you're the blitzer, then you remain the blitzer. This is not man. There is no adjustments. You're not banjoing stuff. You're not owner motioning anything. So it's a big compliment to our Falcon, but it also kind of tames things down a little bit. It's a lot easier blitz. You get a lot of eyes. Obviously, we want to see more of a 20 or 11 type personnel formations when we do this. And but we can have the nickel safety blitzing. We could have the free safety blitzing. We start running our berm, which is just the boundary blitz. We could have the strong safety blitzing. We could have the nickel safety blitzing over there. And any one of these three linebackers, if they're in the box, could be the blitzer from the inside aspect of it. So looking at it right here, we got the same thing. So we got, right now, you got the corner or the deep outside third guys. We're running fire, so it is coming. We're treating this as in the middle of the field. So obviously now we're coming from the passing strength. And so this is our skiff, our curl flat guy over here. We've got more than one displaced receiver. We got two or more displaced receivers over here. So automatically our nickel is going to be the edge pressure guy. The Mike is still blitzing the face of the tackle exactly like he did in Falcon. And then this is our hot three player. His three happens to be to his side right now. He jumps, then obviously he's going to be over there. That sniff shifts, then obviously that shift makes that the new hot three. We're just going to relate to him. We're still playing run and all that stuff. Probably call this a little bit more and what we would think would be a run situation. We like it versus 11 versus 20 formations, all of that business. So we got our skiff up top. We got our skiff down bottom. We got our blitzer right here. And then this safety is going to end up being our deep middle third. We've got the ability to give a lot of different looks and able to disguise with it a little bit more. So kind of watching it as it develops here. He knows that he's got a skiff out of him. So here we get to bail late. The big deal here is for these guys, those two skiff players. So we're saying, hey, seam player, curl player, flat player. seam player, curl player, flat player. Skiff, we've got to get hands on because it's just 3 deep and we just got a 3-man wall. So we've got to get hands on twos. Needed to do a better job of just staying outside leverage of him. He's releasing hard, get a good hand on him because now all of a sudden we're going to start putting this guy and this guy in some stress. We got the blitz. Here comes the nickel. Obviously, we want him to just start bringing it fast right here. We've got the Mike blitz in the face of the tackle. Tackle blocks out. He's got the ability to stay gap or cross face. Again, we want to cut this field in half right here. So we got the go call out of this young man. And then it's a pretty good 3-man wall underneath. Would have liked to have gotten a little bit more on him. And then we would have been in a lot better shape. Should look up top, does a great job, but just stay on top of it. I mean, we're running 3 deep. I'm not going to sit there and bite on stutters and stuff like that. He's going to stutter and go me right here, all that stuff. Just stay over the top. This is not one of those defenses. This one kind of lets him run up on him and then bites on it and gets behind him. That's obviously the number one sin. Don't let that happen when you're playing your 3 deep. Fortunately, he dropped the ball right there. But everything else, you kind of get a look of what it is and how it pans out. Kind of get a back view of it up front. Here's the blitz. Here's the nickel right now. He's the edge. We can do a lot of different things where we can flip these guys where he becomes the edge and now he blitzes inside. We can do some variety of things with the line as well. Here's another look at it. Now we got the sniff to the twins. So again, we're running fire. Here's the skiff to the left. There's the skiff to the right. Deep third, deep third. He's going to end up being the middle third, and he is going to be the blitz man right now. Nickel is the blitz. Mike is the blitz. He is the hot 3. Now, if they start shifting anything, doing anything like that, then we can reset it. So we got the long stick going. We got him pulling. He does a good job of setting it down. Obviously, a little bit of false key here. Got the pulls. Then we're running the toss, the quick pitch this way. The skiff over here does a good job of just set the edge. Set the edge. Nickel does a really good job of set the edge right here as well. Let's turn it back into these guys. We ought to have our hot 3. The hot 3 player, I mean, he sees those pullers coming. That's what really kind of makes him stay over there. But the good thing with it is we got a lot of eyes right now that are playing to the ball as opposed to when we're running Falcon, this guy's running off, that corner is running off. If this safety right now, or this receiver rather, is running off, then that guy that's manned on him is running off with him. So it's a good compliment to our Falcon. You get a lot of eyes that are sitting there running to the ball and a little bit better rundown. This is the type of formation that we want to get when we're running this. All right. Now, obviously, a lot of people are going to line up with 11 personnel, but they're going to be in a 10 formation. So we've got to have rules for it. We don't like to run a lot of fire and burn and stuff when it is a 10 formation. If we knew that it was a 10, we would probably steer away from it and maybe stick a little bit more with our Falcons and Buzzards. But with fire, we got to have some rules with it. And so if we get trips, even if, whether that's a true 3 receiver or a tight end, it's going to be the same rules. So typically what you would have is you got the skiff. Obviously our corners are still the deep outside thirds. You got your skiff out of the star. The will is technically the hot 3 player. Well, his 3 is too wide for him right now to reach. So we'll do what is called a trade call. And he'll just sit there and say, hey, this is too difficult for me to reach. He'll talk to the mic and give a trade call and just say, hey, let's you and I trade responsibilities. So now the mic can be the hot 3. The will now become the blitz guy in this situation to that side. Again, the nickel safety has 3 displaced to his side. So therefore, he is going to be the blitzer. And then here's our skip back side. Thing that we do pick up, even though we made a trade, is we're going to pick that safety back up. Although he's the skiff, we're going to get him spinning down inside the box. So we still get eyes. We still get 2 hats in the box, and which is what you want to have. So you get a lot of looks here So here's a 3-by-1. Unfortunately, really in something like this, he's just in a flex position. I wouldn't think that that would be a stressful thing to get to, but they've got the freedom to make the call. If he gives a trade, then give the trade. If you feel like you're stressed at all, then give the trade. In this case, he gave the trade. Typically, we want to give the trade when if he would have been out here on the hash, then hey, man, that's a stressful situation for me to sit there and play run and then to relate to that. But he goes ahead and gives a trade call, so you're going to see him run the blitz. Nickel is the blitzer, deep third, middle third, deep third, star is the skiff, safety over here is the skiff as well. All right. Little bit of motion. The thing that it does is nobody really has to move other than threes may change. Here he goes. He's replacing right there. Again, the nickel does a pretty decent job for a tight box. We've got the long stick trying to cut the field in half again. And then we got our 3-man wall. He needs to be dropping a little bit more right here. We get into a scramble mode. Really needs to be back in this situation. We got our middle third, deep outside third down here. We're in a good spot. Get them to throw the ball away. Let's live to play the next down. Get them in that situation. But this is a pretty different look. Of course, 30 right here is getting lost in thinking that they're jumping. Okay. So this is the same thing, only we're going to nub it up. Backside corner is still the deep outside third. Nothing changes. We get the trade call with this. Everything remains the same. And so we'll look at this, and we'll also look at why it's not what happens when you don't make the trade. So it does not matter right now. Corner, you're the deep outside third. I don't care if you're nubbed up, got a unit, whatever it is. You're the deep outside third. Obviously, if it were unbalanced, you wouldn't be going over. We're playing zones. All right? So outside third right now. This is a skiff to the boundary. He is the blitz. We got two or more displaced, so the nickel is the blitz. Right now, he is stressed, and he needs to give that guy a trade call. And if he gets a trade, then bump out here, stack a little bit, get yourself in the situation. Don't cut him off. He's going to be spinning down and replacing him anyway. Unfortunately, we don't get the trade call. So this puts us into a very stressful situation. He can't get to it. He can't get hands on anything. Levin ought to be sitting there playing head up and working hard to the two. We've got to get guys off levels if we're going to sit there and run this type of defense and just play 3 deep. This corner right now needs to be bailing and bailing hard. We got our skiff down here. Don't need 2 guys on 1 in the same area. So on the snap of the ball, he's releasing, turn him run. He's getting over the top. He's doing a decent job, but now we've gotten nothing on either one of these guys. Both of these guys are in an extreme stressful situation. If they're going to check down to something, we want them to check down to this, check down to that. That's what we want them throwing. And then we'll just sit there and live. Hopefully, blitz can get there and stuff like that. We got to put it into a stressful situation. They did a good job of picking us up. He gets to pat the ball. We get no hands on this. And that's the reason why you want to make the trade with it. So, good, the bad, the ugly. A lot of things that happen. Also, another reason why we only want to do this out of 11 or 20 type formations. Would like for it to be. But we got an 11 look. Trips is one of those that gives you a variety of different looks and things that you have to adjust to. All right. Then looking at another 11 out of Pro Twins. Obviously, the same thing again. The nickel in this case is going to be the blitzer. We've got the gist of everything that we're doing right now. So, nickel is the blitz. This is the fire side. He is the skiff to this side. He is the middle third. He is the skiff up top. He is the deep outside third. We're in a go over here, blitz in the face of the tackle. Lot better job of just, you got to get hands-on stuff and then work hard. We've got a good 3-man wall. We got a good 3 deep look right here. So we got some work that we've got to do with this. They stayed over the top of everything. We've got a decent 3-man wall of getting hands on people and then not chasing ghosts. Don't come up and chase ghosts. We get there, make them do the check down. Now let's rally to the ball. You got a lot of eyes and hats that are looking at the ball right now. Nobody essentially has their back turned and running with stuff. Every one of them got eyes on ball right now, which makes it big. Of course, we're just a step from getting there. Mike does a decent job here, just kind of setting it up. Get to the back, to the quarterback. Great play out of the end right there. Looking at it from the back view. So once we do that, now we get into our vice mode. I mean, just drive straight down on him. You've got outside eyes on both sides. You got outside eyes on both sides. And so we can vice this. Just go and throw right now. You know you're covered up on both sides with outside backers. All right. And then this is our boundary blitz, and it's a buzzard. And really all buzzard is the boundary blitz to Falcon. It's the same exact blitz, same exact rules. We've got all of our pills, all of our banjos. It's the one free aspect of it. We're just doing it from the boundary side. And then our burn is the complement to that. That's going to be with the zone, more of a zone pressure, obviously, but it's a boundary pressure with all the same rules. It could be the strong safety that's running it versus a single receiver displaced. It'll always be the nickel versus a 2 or more displaced out of that. So Fire and Falcon are our field blitzes out of zone and a one free, and then burn and buzzer will be our boundary blitzes or weak side blitzes versus one free in our zone coverage as well. So, gentlemen, I appreciate it. Would love to visit with you if you have any questions about any more of this. It's a fun defense. It's a great defense. And those are staple blitzes, 5-man pressures that we're going to carry in with us to every game regardless of what we're playing, and enjoy visiting with you. Go Frogs.